I want to share with you a case study of a school in Bristol. And it's a pity that Trish Franey, who was with us yesterday, she was the principal of this school. And she did a great job yesterday sort of talking about the video. I will try and emulate her this morning. I wondered it'd be easier if I wore her heels, but perhaps not. No. Perhaps that's sort of an image which just goes a bit. We don't really want to go there, do we? But what is interesting about Trish's school, and this is what I mean by breaking the cycle of association with poverty. Trish's school in Bristol was in the top 3% of deprivation in the country, right? So a highly deprived school, or at least, sorry, the background of the kids was highly deprived. When she took over the school, only 40% of the youngsters were leaving the primary school and going into secondary education, reading and writing at their chronological age. Within 4 years, she had every child leaving the school reading and writing at their chronological age, and had also begun to develop a whole series of enrichment programs there. This was a school, a maintained school, in a highly deprived area, no additional funding. Something actually happened, and we want to talk about what is happening, and we want to share that. And the other bit of evidence I want to share with you is another primary school that I've worked with in England, which again has done very similar things to Trish's. Very, very high poverty students, but outstanding results. And what I want to try and do today is to take those bits of evidence and sort of hold them up as a mirror, not to say this is what you have to do, right? But more to say this is what these schools are doing. How does that compare with what you're doing? And let's get into a debate about this, and let's see if we can really sort of talk about the practices that we're doing, that they're doing, in order to actually achieve this transformation. So it's a new way of working. I'm going to hold this mirror up, and for you to sort of critique that, but also to try and learn and develop from it. But the point about this is we're developing collectively a practice of education, all right? We're developing a language of reform. And that, I think, is the powerful next step. So we are sort of very clear. We have a clear vocabulary amongst us about what we're doing, and we're able to support each other in more constructive and more powerful ways. So I'll be using the word practice a lot today, all right? Richard Elmore, who's a person that you know, he's a friend of the state, a colleague of mine works at Harvard, has been saying recently that education is a profession without a practice, right? We don't actually talk enough about our practice. We don't do the diagnosis and then talk about what we're going to do. If we're really going to transform our region, we need to develop the debate about practice. And the other phrase I'm going to be using a lot is theory of action. I think Vic used the phrase yesterday. Can we formulate our knowledge in such a way that we can say, if we do this, if we teach a cooperative group like this, then this will happen with the kids. Can we develop propositional language about the work that we do? If we sort of create the professional accountability in the system with these features in our schools, then this will happen, right? So increasingly precise talk about the instructional core. And I think that's at the heart of how we actually really sustain development over time. Wayne on Wednesday was absolutely clear that this is not a quick fix. We have funding now for another three years or so, so we have the opportunity to embed and sustain this work, and really, really make a difference. And I hope in the little bit of time that I can spend with you, I hope that that's the sort of the trend, or the sort of the shift we're going to make in the way that we're working together. I was 60 last month, and left the university, so I have a little bit more time to work with you. So I hope you'll tell me whether you think this is a productive sort of approach towards the end of the day. So what we'll do this morning then, if it's okay with you, we'll look at these outstanding schools. I'll try and lead you through a process where we can hold them up as a mirror, we can reflect upon them, we can critique them, and then we can then increasingly use that as a way of looking what's going on in our schools and to actually develop perhaps a more informed way at looking at the sort of improvement process. This most probably will creep over into lunch, and then I want to raise with you, creep over after lunch, and that'll be fine. But towards in the afternoon and towards the end of the day, I want to try and look at three areas which I think are pretty important in terms of your own leadership and the leadership of your team inside your schools, and to see whether these are areas we want to do more in-depth work in, over the next sort of months and year. They may be, they may not be, but I would like us to have that sort of discussion. And Lena is very concerned that you haven't actually spent enough time out of school this week, so she wants me to extend the session until 5:30. I hope that's okay. No, we'll finish at 3 o'clock, so we can sort of get home and get a good start to the weekend.